Welcome back to Living Local. It is time now to check in with Movie Mike for what is new in theaters this upcoming weekend. Mike Schultz, arts editor for the River Studies Reader, as always joins us in studio. Mike, thanks for coming in.
Pleasure, you bet.
Let's do the ones from last week here.
Yeah, sounds good.
We had talked about last week, I know we talked about this one. Did we talk about the second one?
No, we did not.
Okay, cool. So
all right.
Let's cover this first one here first. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This was our latest Marvel movie.
Indeed.
How did it end up?
It's like right in the middle of Marvel movies.
Okay.
It's not bad at all, and it's not great, but it's completely fine. It is at least a superhero we have not seen before on screen.
Okay.
This is Shang-Chi, martial arts master, was introduced in comic book form in the 1970s, and so it's basically his origin story, and it tells about how he starts out as a slacker in San Francisco, parking cars with his best friend, played by Awkwafina. There is a terrorist cell that's run by his father, who is an immortal. Then he has to go to China to find his mother's old homeland. It's got 40 different plots all going on at once. None of them are terribly interesting. The action scenes, though, are fantastic.
That's what you said, in contrast to Black Widow a couple months ago.
Right, where that was pretty much the performances kind of saved the movie. And this one, it's actually the stunts, because the lead, Simu Liu is his name, is also a professional stuntman. And so we actually get to see his face and see his body in motion, and it's pretty great. But the first bus scene is kind of like a 3-minute version of Speed, which is pretty great. And then there's that scene we just saw on the side of a skyscraper. There's a lot of battles in China that are quite well done. So it's entertaining. It moves along pretty well. It's not interesting on a character level, but it looks cool. Yeah, I had a good time.
The Marvel people probably liked it.
It was fun. Made a bunch of money. Yeah.
So that happened too. That happened. All right, we're going to streaming now for our next one. Yeah. I'm assuming you saw this on Prime Video.
I did.
Because it was only, I think it's select theaters or whatever. It's another version of Cinderella. There was one of those out, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, how about that?
This is the one with Camila Cabello. How did we feel about this?
I'm okay with it. It's not made for me. It is made for kids, clearly. I mean, this is Cinderella's story, but it's also, it's kind of like if Glee did an episode of Cinderella.
See, I read that in your review. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's all top 40 hits. It's a musical version, but it's not the Rodgers and Hammerstein that people might be familiar with. Yeah. It has songs like Material Girl in it. I mean, so it's basically a lot of top 40 hits. It's pleasant. It's very colorful. It's a little bit cornball in the Glee manner, where it's like a little bit snarky in the humor and whatever. But considering I didn't expect a lot from it, it's got good things. It has Idina Menzel, who's in it, who's terrific. Minnie Driver is great. Pierce Brosnan shows up, and if you've seen Mamma Mia, you should be terrified that he might sing, and he does. But it's meant to be terrible in this one, and so it's okay. He's actually pretty funny.
That's promising.
So it has good people in it.
All right. So as long as you know what you're getting into.
Exactly right.
That's good. Let's get to our new stuff now for this week. First up here, let's get to some scares. This one is called Malignant, and we don't know anything about it, which makes is even more of my type of horror movie.
We truly don't. I've seen the preview like 10 times, and I still don't know what's going on. I do know that Annabelle Wallis plays a woman who, as a child, had an imaginary friend named Gabriel.
All right, get out the spirits.
That's right. In the present day, Gabriel has returned and is committing all sorts of mayhem and murder and playing with her psyche in terrible ways. The reason I'm looking forward to this one, though, is it's being directed by James Wan, who is a tremendously successful, too, horror director. He's made Saw and Saw 2 and The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2 and Insidious 2. I'm sure we'll see Malignant 2 down the line at some point. But he's a really good visual stylist, and he's not bad with performers. It's at the theaters and also on HBO Max, streaming as of tomorrow.
One of those.
Yeah,
all right.
Exactly.
Let's get to some fun now. Okay. This one's called Queenpins. This is more of a adult type of comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
R-rated.
And could be really fun. Yeah, this one is based on a true story, and it's a crazy story. It is about a suburbanite, played here by Kristen Bell, who initiates a scheme by which she basically commits $40 million worth of coupon fraud.
That blows my mind.
I love it. I love that already. She and her best friend go to Mexico, and they steal a bunch of coupons, and then they start a service where they sell them online at a greatly reduced price. They basically built companies out of $40 million. And so the FBI finds out about it. So you have Vince Vaughn playing an FBI agent on the case. We have Paul Walter Hauser playing someone else who's trying to kind of stop the crime from going on and find these women. And you have Kristen Bell and Kirby Howell-Baptiste together as the co-stars. They co-starred together on Veronica Mars back in the day and The Good Place, so they've known each other forever. Could be fun. I'm looking forward to just seeing a grown-up comedy at the Cineplex.
There you go.
Could be a kick.
There you go.
Yeah.
Finally, if you want some more serious type of stuff, but you don't want to go into horror, this is where you want to go.
Yes.
This one's called The Card Counter.
It is indeed, yes. This is Oscar Isaac. The ever awesome Oscar Isaac plays a former military interrogator who has been to Leavenworth prison for crimes committed in Abu Ghraib, and he's now been released. He's making a living as a professional gambler and card counter with poker and blackjack. Tiffany Haddish plays a Las Vegas entrepreneur who starts backing him, and it basically involves his schemes in Vegas gambling and throughout the Southwest, and also dealing with his past. Which also involves Willem Dafoe as a former military advisor. So you know it's going to be kind of scary and creepy on top of it. Written and directed by Paul Schrader, who wrote Taxi Driver 45 years ago, and he's still making movies. Fantastic. Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Good variety this weekend.
There we go. Nothing like some good variety.
Yeah.
Mike, as always, thank you
for pleasure.
Coming in today, sir. In review, movies from last week still out. Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings. Cinderella, that's on Prime Video. New in theaters this weekend. Malignant, Queenpins, and The Card Counter. You can always read Mike's movie reviews, of course, in the latest River Cities Reader on stands everywhere, and online at rcreader.com. And for more information on today's movies, our website is ourquadcities.com.